Hello, my name is Eric. I'm doing another one of my photography vlogs called One Body, One Lens, One Roll, One Day. I am at Ledges Overlook near Peninsula, Ohio. It is a pretty hot and muggy July morning. I did another episode further out at the Ledges part, but this is kind of now an open field area. I got picnic grounds, I got flowers, so I got all sorts of stuff. Today's camera is a Pentax ZX50. It is an autofocus type film camera. It does have all the automatic settings and all the manual settings that you might expect, like the N70 and the Canon Rebels I've shot. The difference is that Pentax probably has some of the best compatibility with older lenses, newer bodies, and back and forth. Today's lens is the Pentax DFA 70 to 210 f4. This is one of their newer digital lenses, probably like 5 years old. So it should be really tack sharp. This lens is actually also pretty well weather resistant, so if it were to rain, the lens would be fine. The body's not, but that's okay. Today's film, some Konica Centuria 400. I've baselined this. It was not kept that well, so I'm going to pull it back to ISO 100 and load it up and get some shots, and then be right back. Okay, so this lens does not have an aperture ring like a lot of the other lenses I've used. So this camera knows that, and it can actually control the aperture through the body, which is why I'm allowed to use this lens on this particular body, because I can control the f-stop through the body rather than through a ring right here. I'm going to put on my lens hood. It's a very bright sunny day. This should help keep flare off. And let me get some, set that to single shot. Let me get some shots. Be right back. All right, so that was pretty slow. All right, so this particular lens is trying to use their SDM autofocus motor. This body does not recognize that autofocus motor, so I had to make sure they were both in a manual focus mode, and I can just do it, do it manually focus. But that's okay, it is what it is. First shot was kind of shot into the shaded area. I fired off at like a 30th of a second, so I'm going to go to manual. Actually, I'm going to go to aperture priority, throw this all the way down to f4, and let me try that again. All right, so shade's not doing so great. All right, let me get some more shots. All right, so I'm going to pick on this camera a little bit. The ZX50s do not necessarily have the best reputation. Two reasons. One, the advanced motor was controlled by a plastic or nylon type gear, which tended to wear out after 5 to 10 years, and this is probably now a 25-year-old camera. So you'd load it up and it just wouldn't advance. You'd hear the whine, but the gears were just totally worn out. You could have sent it in and they would have replaced it with a metal gear, but typically the repair was worth more than the camera was. The other thing that happened on a couple of ZX bodies was the spring up for the flash would wear out, and this one is worn out, but that's okay because I'm not using much flash. And then, so you couldn't use the pop-up flash. I do have an external flash. I'm not so worried about it. But this one, the winding motor is great, which means I can use it, but the pop-up flash is pretty much useless to me. All right, I've got a couple shots left. I got some cool clouds in the sky. I'm going to grab them real quick. And maybe one more shot left. Kind of a cool cloud over there. And that's the end. As you can tell, it's being rewound. Again, today's camera was the Pentax ZX50. Good points, bad points about it. This one's partially functioned, but the winding motor is a big thing for me. Pop-up flash, I'm not so worried about. Today's lens was their digital, their HD Pentax DFA 70 to 210 f4. So this is more designed for their digital cameras with the SDM motor. It's an electronic motor where the motor is built into the lens. This body does not know that motor drive, so I had to make sure that the lens was set to manual and the body was set to manual, and I just manually focused it like any other manual lens. But this being a full frame digital lens, works great on the digitals. You just have to manually focus it. Today's film was the Konica 400, which I know was not kept well, so I pulled it back to ISO 100 instead of 400. Results will be posted at the end. Feel free to give them a thumbs up if you like the results. Feel free to comment if you've shot any Konica film in the past. Share it, subscribe it. New episodes try to come out every Friday and every Saturday. I had one come out recently on infrared film. It was kind of a cool episode. Go check it out. I've shot infrared a couple different times. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next episode.